David Reinhardt with Geekenstein Media, and I'm here with
Alia McCutchen.
And we're here to talk about one of my favorite open betas right now, Don't Starve. So, my first question is, because I'm actually really curious about it, what is it like building a game with completely randomly generated worlds?
It's totally awesome. Actually, that's my favorite part of the game. So first of all, we trying to make a story that the user tells themselves. So when you walk along and you find a random ruin, and then afterwards you find a Peking or something like that, you feel that there's more to this world than you know, right? So you make up fiction in your head, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make it so that when you talk about this, don't starve to other people, we'd like you to kind of say, oh, you know what happened to me? I ran across this thing, and then this other thing happened, and then the whole world caught fire, or whatever happens, right? So it's quite difficult because of the tuning problem. Any time you tune one thing, it unbalances something else. But thanks to all the feedback from the users and our regular push dates and stuff like that, it's working out pretty well.
Now, this is more of a personal question, but with every new update, why don't you want my Wilson to live? What do you have against my Wilson? He just wants to live in the woods and grow a beard, but no.
Yeah, I feel it's one of my personal vendetta against the player to make sure that you die in more interesting ways each time, and that each time maybe you learn a little bit more about the world, so that next time you can last a little bit longer, and then maybe after that you overstep your bounds because you're overconfident, and then you do yourself some harm again. So
I'm actually really curious because every new update, you guys had so many new items and systems, and balancing that has to be not only an incredible headache, but who is coming up with all these crazy ideas for 5? Because it starts, you get your axe and your pickaxe is the first, and then now you have staffs that shoot fire.
Right. So what happens is you make one system and the game's interesting. You make another system that interacts with that one, and the complexity of that makes it even more interesting. But the problem is it actually inspires you more, because every new combination makes you think of more combinations that could possibly happen. And so actually the problem mostly we're finding is that we have too many new ideas. We don't have time to fit them all in. I mean, that's one of the reasons to keep developing after the beta finishes.
I'm curious how you can, and like I said, every new update, so much more stuff. What about the end game? Because you guys are eventually going to have the story mode. I don't understand how. I'm fascinated to find out how it all fits in. Now the Spider Queen and the tall birds and tiny birds.
Yeah. So the end game is something we're working on right now, and it's going to take us a lot of effort, I think, to really polish. We have the basic, the pencil outline of it working, and now it's kind of play, iterate on that until it feels really good. Trying to make each of the levels feel like it's a separate experience, and that each time you're overcoming great adversity and all that sort of stuff. So,
whose brilliant idea was the art style? Because that was what immediately hooked me about the game, and then playing it, I was blown away. I spent 3 days straight just playing it.
Yeah, art director Jeff, I think that's mostly him, and then the artists themselves, they're all absolutely awesome. So I think without them, the game wouldn't have the soul that it has. They really have made it an amazing experience. I think
you made it play amazing.
I think I would say the mastermind is Kevin. He really he puts his heart and soul into it. The sense of humor is definitely his. He writes all the lines for all the characters and stuff like that, and that influences the art style, which influences the writing style, and it goes around in a circle.
So, do you guys have a time frame for when it's going to be out of beta and we're going to finally get to play the story?
April 23rd is when it gets released, and then after that we promise for 6 months that we'll deliver new content, and then if it still works after that, we'll think about and we'll see what happens after that. So
excellent. Well, thank you very much for talking with it, and you all should play Don't Starve because it's awesome, but you will die a lot.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you very much. Cheers.